In this video, I will show you how to add an Instagram feed to your Wix website quickly and easily. So people can come in here, they can scroll through your Instagram feed, and there's a few different layouts that we can have here. So if you don't like this one, we can completely customize this. But people can come in, they can follow you on Instagram, they can click into your posts and they can view them. And I'll show you exactly how to do that in this video. The first thing that we need to do is open up Elfsight. This is the tool that we will be using to build the widget, and I've linked it in the description below. Go ahead and click on that link and it will take you straight over to this page. This link also ensures that everything connects properly when we embed it. From here, just enter your email into this box to sign up for free, and then on this next page, create your password. Just like that, we are signed up and ready to go. Okay, so once we are signed up to Elfsight and we have an Elfsight account, you should see it right at the top as soon as you load in. The Instagram feed is going to appear right here. If for some reason you don't see the Instagram feed, then don't worry, because we can just go to search widgets and type in Instagram. And right here, the Instagram feed is going to appear. So go ahead and click into the Instagram feed widget. And this is what I mentioned earlier about we have a bunch of different templates and a bunch of different layouts to choose from. So we can go for this profile widget. We can go for a grid widget. We can go for a smaller widget that's going to take up a lot less space. We have like this post slider that we can scroll along right here. And then we have a few dark themes as well for darker themed websites. So just go ahead and choose the template that you would like to use. And then we can click on continue down here. And now it's going to ask for our Instagram source. So we can choose if we want to use an account or if we want to use an Instagram hashtag and get the posts from that hashtag. I'm going to go for an account though. So we can go to the username and I will just use Leo Messi as an example. I think this is his handle, but you basically just type in your Instagram username and click on search. And I think this is going to be Leo Messi. But while we're waiting for that to come in, you can of course connect your Instagram as well. So you just click on connect and then you can log into your Instagram, and this is going to enhance widget performance and reliability, but this is absolutely not necessary. Even just with this, if I don't connect my Instagram, this is still going to bring up all of the posts from the account that I tagged right here. So we just want to wait a minute or two for those posts to actually come across. And just like that, yes, I got the handle right. Here are Lionel Messi's posts. So we can scroll through, we can check these out, we can see how these are looking and if these are looking good. And then we can also go to filters right here and we can show only posts containing these words or hashtags. We can hide posts containing certain words or hashtags. We can choose how many posts we would like to display. And then we can also go to sorting and we can choose to sort by publication date or list position. From here, we can then go to the layout and we can choose if this is a slider or a grid layout, just like this. We can then go down and choose how many rows and columns we would like to use. So if I change this from 2 to 3 as an example, this is now going to show 3 different rows. We can choose the gap between each post if we would like to add one. So if I add 10 right here, for example, it's going to add a gap between each post. And for the width, I wouldn't recommend playing around with this because the dimensions are already set. We can then go to the header and we can edit this. So this is the header at the top. We can choose if we want this off completely. And we can also choose what elements are going to be shown in here. So we can turn off the profile picture, for example, and that will be removed. We can turn off the posts count, for example, and now it won't show how many posts we've made. So you can edit the header in this section. Then we can go to slider settings, and in here, this is the slider right here where we can scroll along. We can choose if we want these arrows on or off, so people can no longer scroll with arrows, and instead they would have to scroll just by dragging like this. But we can turn this off as well, so you can customize how people are going to navigate this. We can then choose the animation speed, so when we are scrolling, how quickly is this going to animate? And we can also turn on autoplay. So as an example, if I set this to 3 seconds, every 3 seconds, this is going to go ahead and automatically scroll. But for now, I'm just going to turn this off because this can be quite annoying whilst we are still editing. Then we have the feed title. So if we want to go ahead and add a feed title, we can go ahead and just say like, check out my Instagram posts. Just like this. And that is the layout area. Next, we can go into the post section and we can choose how these posts are actually going to look. I think this one looks much better. We can choose the aspect ratio. So if these are square or if these are, I don't even know what you would call this, more of a rectangle shape, I guess. We can then choose in the post elements if we want to show the like count. And what this is actually, if I just show you, is you see if I scroll over these are the post elements. So we can turn off the likes count, for example. And now if I scroll over this, it's not going to show the likes. We can also choose what happens when somebody clicks on one of these posts. Is it going to open a pop-up just like this? And if it is, we can go down and choose what elements show up on this pop-up. So for example, let's turn off the follow button, and that's now going to be removed. If we turn off the user, that will be removed as well. Or the other option, aside from having a pop-up, is we can just go straight over to Instagram. So if we put open on Instagram and then somebody clicks on this post, they will be taken over to that post on Instagram. Now, I prefer to have it to open in pop-up as I don't really want to give people many chances to leave my website. That's just not a good idea. But from here, the last thing that we can do is go into style, and this is where we can play around with the colors and fonts. So the first thing that we can do is we can choose the color scheme for this. So we can set this to like a dark theme. We can set this to like an emerald theme. And as you can see, this is going to change at the top. But then in here, in customize elements, this is where we can really edit things. So we can click into the header and we can choose the header color, the text color, the follow button color, the follow button text. We can go down to the posts and we can choose the overlay background color, the text color, and everything like this. So just go down and customize these elements, choose the colors and make it look how you would like it to look. Now, once you are ready to put this on your Wix website, all we then have to do is click on publish. And Elfsight will take us over to this page where we can now choose a plan. Now, the plan I recommend going for is this free plan right here, as this allows us to put the Instagram feed onto our site for completely free, to test this out, to drive traffic to it. And then later down the line, if you do want to upgrade to one of these paid plans, if you want access to more widgets or more monthly views, you can upgrade to one of these paid plans at any time. But for now, just select the free plan. And once that is selected, Elfsight is going to give us this piece of code. And this is the code that we are going to use to actually put this Instagram feed onto our Wix website. So what we want to do is just click on copy code, and then we can go over to our Wix editor. And then we now want to find whereabouts on the site do we want to put this. So I'm going to put this just as an example right here. Okay, so underneath this section and above this section. So we want to create a separate section for this. That's the first thing we want to do. So we can add a section wherever we want to add this on our site. And the section that we want to add is just going to be a blank section. So all we need to do is go to design section right here. And then we want to go to basic and just select a plain white section or a plain black section. You can customize this depending on your website color, but we can add this. And then as an example, let's say my website was pink. I would just click into this quick edit. Section background we can change, and then we can change the color right here. But essentially, once this plain section is added, this is now where we can add in our Instagram feed. So to do this, we just want to go to add elements. And the element that we want to add is embed code and embed HTML. So we just go to embed HTML and add this to site. And it's going to open up with this box. And then all we need to do is right here where it says add your code, we click into this box and we paste in the code that we just copied. Click on update, and then you don't need to play around with any of these other settings. So this box is now going to appear, and all we have to do is spread this out to be the size of this section. So we can just spread this out right here, make sure it's all the way over to this other side, or however big you would like to add this. And then as we can see, it's kind of cut off right now. So what I'm going to do is make this section bigger, and then we can drag the Instagram feed to be bigger as well. So it needs to be a little bit bigger still. So we can just go down and we can drag this as well. I forgot that I added 3 different elements onto here, 3 different rows, I should say. So we can just drag this all the way and perfect. This is now added, right? So we can just go up, we can add this in, and now this is the perfect size. So now we have the Instagram posts added in here, and that is how you can add your Instagram feed to your Wix website.